instances of paranormal phenomena have been reported in this desolate place. Events that may reflect the area's tragic past. Whatever they are, whatever you call them, ghosts, spirits, shades, specters, apparitions, there is not a corner of the world they do not inhabit.
I'm coming through.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Dangerous Podcast. We talk all things paranormal. I'm Ken James, and this is Jason McKittrick.
Hey, folks.
And if you can haunt, howl, or dwell in the dark, we want to talk about it. And tonight, we are going to go over some Bigfoot sounds, audio recordings of the big hairy mofo himself.
Pure nightmare fuel.
Some of these guys are it's just, I don't want to say the word because I don't want that guy coming back, but it's chilling. It's very chilling. What we're going to do is we're going to play you 5 different recordings of allegedly Bigfoot sounds. Now, we're not, saying, oh, these are all real, this and that. This is just different reported sounds. But they are pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. And I do say so myself.
They are pure horror.
It's terrifying. These are the willies inducing. They induce the willies.
They sure do.
Yeah, so... Whoa!
God
oh, man.
damn it.
Dude, that one almost hit me.
It did.
Guys...
Actually, it did. It sliced you a little bit.
It got me?
Yeah,
It got me? Damn it.
Yep.
Now it's personal.
It is.
Haunted head... No. Now it's personal, me and these haunted headlines.
It is. There's gonna be a body hanging soon.
I see a body swinging.
Yeah, there she is. But, guys, we have another haunted headline. All right, guys, this week's haunted headline. British actor Julian Sands recalled finding spooky things on mountains weeks before he was found dead. Julian Sands recalled discovering human remains whilst out hiking in dangerous locations during his last interview before disappearing on a hike. Sands was confirmed to be dead after human remains were found in the Mount Baldy area of San Gabriel Mountains in California. In an interview not too long before his own death, Sands described the hypernatural experience of stumbling across human remains on his own adventures. The British actor, who starred in successful films such as A Room with a View, was reported missing January 13th, not too long after his 65th birthday. So that kind of goes right into what we're talking about here.
Well, first up, rest in peace, Julian Sands. Yeah. And how dare they not mention Warlock?
Yeah.
That's the movie. And then Arachnophobia.
True that, too. True that.
A Room with a View? Come on.
What girl wrote that article?
Yikes.
Just kidding, Christina.
It's crazy because honestly, him finding human remains in that area is not strange.
Uncommon.
Mountain lions.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Right. Yeah.
They haven't released a cause of death for him yet. I guess that's going to take some time if they do release it. And I hope they do, because I'd love to know what happened. Like, did he fall? Like, I was checking the news every couple of days. I was like, hey, they find him yet? They find him yet? Just crazy. But so you're leaning towards the Sasquatch got him.
Not him. Maybe the other ones.
Oh, okay.
I think they were like Bigfoot. If they would have saw him, very big fan, Mr. Sands.
Interesting. Okay. I thought maybe he was trying to run from him.
You want to fuck my wife? No.
Oh, boy.
What?
That's right. We're doing ODP now.
Yeah, it's ODP now, yeah.
I'm like, wait, are we recording Learning Lovecraft?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Fireball's happening now. This is let your hair down, Jay. Let your hair down.
I just got a haircut today.
Yeah, well, then let it up. Wear it up.
Well, Kenneth.
Yes, Jason.
Some of these sound clips that we're going to be listening to, I think, are some of the best evidence, if you could call it that. Most compelling evidence. How about that?
Yeah, there's the two in particular that I'm really into. Because
I can't say for definite, like, I can't be like, oh, this is absolutely true because A, B, or C. Mm-hmm. No. But you can look at these and be like, or listen to these and be like, this is like, it doesn't sound like people. I mean, especially the ones in the 70s. We'll go over them as we go over the few, but like, these, I think, because I've heard ones that are terrible.
Yes.
And one of these, I think, is destined for the chum bucket, maybe, but let's get to it.
At least one.
Yeah. All right, so first up in our Bigfoot audio recordings, we've got five samplings. Yes. And the first one is a very well-known one. This one made the rounds. This one comes from 1990 in Washington State, and it's a 911 call, right?
Which are always like always adds an air of like
especially when the person taking the call is like yep, oh yeah, they don't care.
So sounds spooky, sir.
Yeah. Stop yelling, sir. Yeah. So this guy, before he made this 911 call that we hear in the recording, days before, his dog was attacked by this strange figure that he described. Strange, dark, huge figure. Yeah.
And as you hear in this, it's... Well, you know what? We'll discuss after, but here is our first clip.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man or something that looks like a man. I don't know what it was, just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. But whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sir?
Dio!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Oh, and the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's a big... real big person. That's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
So, first impressions there.
Yeah, this guy's having a night.
Yeah. I love how it starts. Like, these are all the ones that always get me too. Yep. How it starts off where he's just like matter of factly, hey man, yeah, look, and you know, he's like, yeah, my dog was killed out here, like last week, and like, or the night before, whatever he said. But like, he's like, and then all of a sudden, something happens. Yeah. Where he's like, oh, you get somebody out here.
I'll tell you what happened. It put its face right against the window.
Oh my god!
And he looked over, and its face was like right against the thing. It was just like, that's what happened.
And it's Michael Shannon.
Maybe.
But no, and I like...
And he had a little note that said, I killed your dog.
Oh. No, he had the dog's collar. That sucks.
And then he turned into the Arthur meme of just the clenched fist.
Oh, man, it's spooky, man. And, like, him when they're, like, asking for the description, you know? And he's like, he's big.
Because he doesn't want to say Bigfoot because they're just going to hang up on him. You can tell. He's probably like, if I say Bigfoot, they're going to be like, oh, have a good night, sir.
He's big and he's all in black. Like, is it a man? He's like, well... You hear him do that kind of like...
no. As it's like right here looking at him.
Yeah. He's like, no, not a man. Yeah. Bats it around a bit. Yeah, but like, oh, man. Oh, dude. And like, guys seem sincere, man. Like, if anything, I want to say that the guy's locked in. I mean, if he's acting or if he's mistaken what he's seeing, he believes he's seeing something that's out there.
Yeah.
And 911 calls.
His dog got killed, so that adds a little extra layer of like seriousness to it. Some gravitas, if you will.
Definitely some gravitas.
I like it, man. I like it.
Terrifying.
All right, so the next one, we go a little back in time, but same state. also in Washington State, 1973. There's not too much backstory on this, but it's alleged that there were the individuals who recorded this were hearing strange screams and howling that echoed through the mountains. So I'm like, well, let's hear it.
Yeah, and hear it we shall.
Terrifying.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, that's one of the ones where, you know what, like, I'm not like going, oh, it's so impressive, but it's...
Well, if you're just in the woods and you hear this... Now, I should have prefaced in the beginning, and maybe we can pull up a clip at some point of coyotes screaming and foxes screaming.
Yeah.
Foxes make some of the weirdest noises ever.
Yeah.
Recently, when we moved in there's foxes in our neighborhood because they're everywhere. They make some of, like, it sounds like a woman screaming.
Yeah.
It's so weird. And if you were to hear that from a distance and put a little echo on it, and I'm not saying these are fake or anything, I'm just saying you got to think of those things too. Also, rabbits make some, when they get caught by something, they make these like death screams that you would swear is a person.
Yeah.
Maybe if we could find audio on either of those two, maybe we could drop those in here.
So hopefully you just heard coyotes, foxes, and rabbits being murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah, Christina.
Did you say coyotes?
Coyotes. Yeah, I said coyotes.
El coyote.
Yeah. What do you think this is? So, yeah, that one. Honestly, though, even if you're in the woods and you just hear that,
Yeah.
I'm not having a good time in the woods.
Yeah. Just recently, this couple months ago, middle of the night, me and Christina were woken up in the middle of the night, this weird screeching noise. I was like, what the hell is that? And on that, I grew up in the woods, so I was like, I know this is either a rabbit or a fox or a coyote. And we went and I looked outside, and sure enough, a fox.
Right. I thought it could have possibly been the what is it, the North American Pisquatch?
Oh, the elusive but curious North American piss ape.
Yeah, piss ape. Yeah, that's it.
It's possible, but we keep pepper spray, bear mace, and sharp sticks just in case he comes close.
Pointy sticks are good for a piss ape.
A good throw. You get the throw.
Overhand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you follow through, it'll go right through him. But he gets up and goes home.
He goes,
He's like, I feel great.
Yeah, I got to
This
rub
is
piss.
awesome.
I got to rub piss. I'll be out of here.
Yeah. So, you just got to be careful with that guy.
You do. You very much do. Before we go on to the next one,
Yeah.
has there been any piss ape sightings recently?
Yeah. Too many.
Okay, just making sure.
Too many.
So to make sure I know, if there might be one tonight. I don't know. Just making sure. Okay, cool.
With all my power, there will be no sightings of him tonight.
Okay.
Because when you're exhausted and an exhausting person comes up, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I get it. No big deal.
Okay, on to the next one.
Yes.
So for our third selection here, also, once again, in the state of Washington, because honestly, Washington is where it's at. Like the West Coast is where they see a lot. However, I didn't get it for this episode, but we do another Bigfoot one. Pennsylvania has quite a few sightings.
We do have sightings
of the big boy.
Yeah, if you look at like a map and they do like the area per capita of like sightings,
and it all corresponds with underground caves. No, sorry.
Synchronicity.
Yeah.
But then I love how they put like a little picture of Bigfoot like around there. Like here's a sighting. Here's a sighting.
Yeah,
there's a sighting.
Indeed, with Tim White.
Yeah.
So this third selection, also in Washington State, but from the year previous, 1972. A hunter claimed that he shot and wounded a Bigfoot, and he's not too happy about it.
I wouldn't be either. But let's see what that sounds like.
Yeah.
So to me,
Yeah.
that could just be a guy screaming. Like, maybe he just killed a man.
To me, that sounds like, a toy that the batteries are starting to run low.
Yeah.
That one, 1972, not great recording, but...
Yeah, you're not popping out like your cell phone. You know what I mean? You don't have
I don't know. It's just... and there's really not much context to this one. You know, we have this hunter, claims to have shot and wounded a Bigfoot. He's recording the screams, but what hunter just happens to go out there with audio recording equipment in 1972? You're not just pulling out this little thing. You're pulling out, reel-to-reel? Right?
Yeah, that'd be hilarious if a hunter was out there with his reel-to-reel strapped on his back.
I'm just out here hunting.
Yeah.
With my reel-to-reel.
He's like, hey, we're doing the first ever podcast out here in the woods, son.
Hope we find a Bigfoot.
Yeah. Want to shoot it.
Yep.
Get it some sounds.
Yeah, it's with not too much surrounding story to it. It's kind of like a whatever for me. Yeah. And the audio recording, it doesn't. I don't know. It literally, like you said, it could be anything. That could be a recording of a subway train. Like, it's that weird. You know what I'm saying? I
know what you're saying, but I hear what's going on there. Being the audio engineer that I am.
You've bought into the narrative.
No, I'm just saying, to me, it just sounds like a something screaming or wailing. It's not like, it's not like a train.
Did you do your own research?
I did. I could do some more, actually, as well. Frogs. No, anyway. Actually, right.
Hey, it's still kind of terrifying, but compared to some of the other ones we've heard already, it's all right.
If you let yourself get caught up in the pageantry, yeah.
Pageantry,
yeah.
Nice. So, fourth selection. Now we're moving a little bit south, but still on the West Coast. This is from Oregon, also from 1972, and this has the same flavor as some of the other recordings.
Right.
It's kind of these mysterious sounds that kind of have sort of maybe like a primate sound to them.
3 of these are definitely in the same vein.
Yeah. Why don't you throw it up?
Yeah. Take a listen.
So with that recording, you also get a few of the, this is one of the recordings where you hear possibly some of the tree knocking.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That's just, it's just like, it's spooky as hell. And not from like, not like a ghost spooky, but like, what is that? Am I in danger?
Yeah. And
why am I still recording and not running?
Yeah. It definitely gets you into like oh God, like what is out there? Am I okay?
The truth is out there.
The truth definitely is out there. I'll tell you that. I like that one too because it's that's longer than the other one with the one moaning and it has something similar as to what we in kind of our canon have as a Bigfoot sound.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty close to the granddaddy.
Yes.
The big boy.
Yes.
BOI, the big boy.
Yeah.
The one.
This is like the Lord of the Rings trilogy compared to like, just regular other movies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like it's Lord of the Rings trilogy compared to the Hobbit trilogy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And the extended editions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The last one we're going to go to before, like, this is why I like this last one that we just played.
Yep.
This person, obviously, like you say, who goes out with the recording equipment to do this? Like, this is just something captured. That's why it's a little better than the other one with the hunter with the shooting.
Yeah.
And it's has a similar tone and cadence to the last one, but the last one was planned. They knew what they were going back out there to capture. The one we're going to go over, that one might have been just like a makeshift, like they had like a video camera and they just had like one of the old mics plugged into it to just get the audio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could have been that kind of situation.
Yeah, Mike could have been there for audio.
Yeah.
We got to get the dat back.
Yeah. I gave you the map back.
Look, I'm not going with your fucking pants to get your goddamn map. All roads lead to the Blair Witch Project. All right, buddy. So we're going to listen to...
In its entirety.
In its entirety. So buckle in, folks. we are going to listen to the Sierra Sounds. If you don't know what this is, we'll give you a little backstory on it. This comes from the early 70s. Some sources said 72, other sources said 73.
Okay.
But
close enough,
but I think they're also taking 2 dates because there's a bunch of recordings apparently. And these were taken by Al Berry and his longtime friend Ron Moorhead. And they went into the woods of the Sierra Nevada mountains, and this is in eastern California, and they collected a series of these Bigfoot vocalizations, I guess you would call them.
Right, yeah. And at first, they went out there. There were a bunch of hunting buddies, right?
Yeah.
And they found this. I think they even described it as almost like an oasis of game, and just the area. They said it was like something out of a dream. They didn't want to let anyone.
Spot.
Yeah, and they didn't want to let anyone really know about it.
Oh yeah, that's.
But then they had.
Too.
Yeah, exactly. But then they had these encounters.
Yep.
And they all got real scared and they didn't want to go back. But the one, I forget which one it is, which one of the two, was like, we got to go back and try to get... Ron was like, we got to go back and we got to try to get these sounds.
The encounter is actually pretty fucking scary that they have before they record these.
Yes.
So they're at this little like hunter's camp or whatever. I don't know if they're around a fire or whatever. They're gathered or whatever. And they start seeing figures.
And I know we've talked about this before previously on a Bigfoot episode.
Yeah.
But we wanted to, with the recordings... get a little in depth here because this is we were just recently talking about it again.
It comes back up because it's compelling because this is the one that comes up. These other ones, they're
besides
good.
The 911 calls also.
The 911 call I have my issues with, but this one I do. I it's fine.
People are fickle. People are fickle.
People are fickle. So it keeps coming back up because it's so compelling, and the story beforehand that they tell is also compelling as well because they're in this spot, this hunter spot. They're all together. Maybe it's after the hunt or whatever. Or I think it was starting to get dark.
Yeah, they were.
Right?
Yeah, and they decided to get some shelter to get their
Yeah, and they see in the distance like these dark figures that are like running between the trees and up the mountain.
Yeah,
and dude, hey man. I don't know if my reaction would be we got to get these on film. Like, yes, I would want to do that, but like when you are confronted by something like that, right? This mystery, this mystery that's been around forever, right? And there it is. You see it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I would be like I can't deal with this right now. Like like I would want it. Yes, let's get this on film.
Depending
on
how your week went.
Yeah, but are they going to rip my arms off?
Yeah.
Do
you mean like deal with it like fisticuffs? Like...
No. I mean like I don't even want to be here right now.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's like, okay.
Withdraw yourself.
Here's
entirely.
all the things that happened. People have talked about Sasquatch. Here's all the things that surrounding Sasquatch. My eyes are down here, buddy. And they finally come back to it, and there you are. You're confronted with it.
Yeah.
Right? It's real. Okay. Yeah, let's get some. I mean, maybe you're feeling good. You're hunting buddies. You got guns. You're armed. Maybe that's the situation. But that's the compelling thing when they say this story that like they see these figures running amongst the trees and up the woods, and then they also started hearing sounds already, and then they decide to take these recordings, and
I'm like tingly because we're about to listen to it again, even though we just did prior to this again. Like, man, this is. I can't.
Let's tell our personal histories with this. Okay. The first times we heard this.
Okay.
All right, I'll go first. I think I was in 6th, maybe 7th grade, right? Had a TV in my room. I used to watch TV till I went to bed in the dark. My parents' house is in the middle of the Pine Barrens of New Jersey. It's kind of creepy anyway, all right? And I was watching, I don't know if it was Sightings. I don't think it was Unsolved Mysteries, but it was one of those fringe ones. You know what I'm saying? It may have even been a Discovery Channel one, all right? Right. And they just come out with it, and they just start playing it. And the weird thing about this recording is not just that it's Bigfoot sounds, like maybe it's animal kind of sounding sounds, but it's the stuff that sounds like it borders on human speech that really like it hits that like that the uncanny valley, right? Yeah. It gets a little too close to human, but it's not human for sure.
Like, oh God, I'm just like thinking about hearing it.
And I remember hearing that, and I was terrified. I didn't fucking sleep that night. Yeah, and it got me. And being in the middle of the woods when I heard it the first time, it's just and also when you're younger, you take what they're presenting to you as 100% fact. Yeah, especially if the guy has a suit on and he's behind a news desk. Tim White, you fuck.
Yeah.
But this one, man, this is one of the
reenactors.
Yeah, our reenact. This was one of the ones, man, that like, you know, this is one of the on my paranormal Mount Rushmore. The Sierra Sounds is up there because even to this day, like I could sit there and try to pick it apart, but then at the end of it, it's like, how did he like? I guess I could figure out how maybe they could have done it, but there's just something so odd about what they decided to put together, or I should say, what is on the recording. It's so odd that it's almost like, who would come up with this?
Yeah, we'll get into impressions after we listen to it, but I guess, okay, my first time actually was, you know, I think I was like 16, 17, up all night on my laptop, E-Bombs World.
Oh, E-Bombs World.
Just a random clip, not much backstory, because you know, this was, you know, they would just like take them, they would just take them and put the video, and they go, you know, it would have this little description. You would get ghost clips too a lot of times, and it'd be and you wanted
JK Cinema, sir.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it was at the time where like you didn't, like you couldn't, like right now we could go Sierra Sounds and you'll find a million things on it. But back then, little sliver somewhere maybe, and they didn't even call it the Sierra Sounds at the time. It was just like. Guys in woods, Bigfoot sounds. You know what I mean? So you listen to it, and after that, you're like, I need to know more. And then it just becomes this, you know, it just grabs hold of your brain, and you're like, how do I find out more about this? And you can't.
It's funny. Well, you can, because there actually is a website of the guy who, Ron Moorhead actually has a website, and he has, he sells CDs or digital downloads of the recordings. He also has a book
CDs,
where
DVDs.
they go. Exactly. He has a book you can buy, and it you know, there's interviews with him on YouTube, I think, too. But it's funny because I actually came back to this years after. It was years ago when I was working as a security guard overnight, and I had my laptop so I could like pull stuff up. And I remember I was like, oh shit, I remember this. And this was like the sun was just coming up, and like I'm listening to these audio recordings. I'm in this little guard shack surrounded by nothing, more woods, and I'm just like, you know what? With this light on in this guard shack, I'm pretty visible. Yeah. And I was just like, yeah, Bigfoot's going to come kill me right now.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
He's going to insult me first, too.
Yeah.
You know?
And he's just going to make that whooping noise and kill me. Yeah. And then rip my heart out.
And as he walks away, he's going to drop it and go, no big deal. Exactly. But like...
Because for him, it's not.
We're gonna play this, and I'm going to... I'm like, actually, like... I don't want to say, I'm affected by it. Yeah. But... I'll explain after this.
It strikes a nerve. It strikes a nerve.
So I'm going to go into what's really unsettling about this after we play it. Any more preamble before we go into it? Like
no, because I'll have impressions after the fact. But just if you've never heard this, buckle in.
And we've played a clip of it in a prior Bigfoot episode. But we want to we're going to dive in here.
And I do have one more thing I want to say. I'm a very skeptical guy of everything. Yeah. And this is one of the last holdouts for me. This audio is one of my one of the very few holdouts where I'm just like, you know what, I can't say if this is real or fake. I don't think I'm more. This is one of the ones where I'm like, I kind of want to think this is real.
Well, here's the thing too. One last thing for me too as well, because like I'm anxious to hear it again. Yeah. They actually did do tests on this, and the register, and the register, the vocal register, and the way that the vocal cords react. Yeah.
It's not within the range of human.
And it's not, and like. And I'll get even more into the vocal things. But okay, guys. This is the Sierra Sounds.
We're in for a night view. Which one's like this? Might be liking it. That's our job. Now we know where we can look for tracks of life for sure. Thought I heard them cross the creek. That must be good. There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks. It's a hard act to follow. He sounds like he talks to us and they talk to each other.
Yeah. Right there, I just seen movement right through there.
All right, guys. So let me just say, look, as an audio professional, I've had my 10,000 hours, right? I've been recording audio since I was 16. I went to school for audio engineering. I've been recording since like I said, I was 16. I went to school for engineering. I am now going to be 37 years old. Okay, I've gone through all kinds of restoration. I did all kinds of things with restoring audio, hearing bad audio, cleaning up old audio, all the different techniques. Once again, I am an audio professional. Now, the first thing you have to know when you hear this, right? So it's proximity, right? So now they have all kinds of fancy equipment like proximity readers that just records proximity. But with the trained ear, you can hear right away when someone goes to the one guy starts repeating the sounds back. It's very close to the mic. It does like a click, like you'll hear some of our episodes when we get excited.
Yeah,
we'll get close and it clips, right?
Yeah.
It's called clipping. That's what's happening when the guy's responding.
Yes.
You're right. He's in close vicinity to the microphone, and these aren't good microphones. This isn't like a condenser microphone.
Right.
Well, it might be in the time, but obviously this is probably some metal box with a cassette in it.
Yeah.
Hardwired mic, and they're holding it out there.
Yeah.
Now, for what they're picking up clearly in the distance, and it's not like a room. This isn't a backyard. You can tell the reverberations of where these things are coming from. And from my perspective, there is, let's just say to get that, there's people far away making sounds. People or something is far away making sounds, and then close up, there's people right there talking.
Yeah.
And that being said, that's a tough act to follow. That quote, and we're in for a night here. Yeah. And it starts with that, like, we're in for a night.
Yeah.
Like, you start to hear it, and I just wanted to get that out of the way of just in the beginning. That's what's happening. You're hearing all the close ones is the guy mimicking, and he's real close to the mic. Everything else is clearly, and they're not editing stuff back then. There's no DAW digital audio workstations.
Yeah,
this stuff doesn't exist back then.
Yeah,
everything is done on an 8-track or like a recorder where you're layering sounds.
Yeah.
This isn't layered sounds.
Yeah,
because you can, especially when you're using different microphones. You can tell when something's recorded with a different microphone, even especially back then.
Right.
This isn't that. These aren't these kind of professionals. These guys aren't recording Hotel California somewhere. This isn't that kind of, thing. But I'm still like, every time I hear it, I'm shaking. We were just listening to it together, going over so many new things that we were hearing.
Yep.
And I'll let you go. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out of the way.
No, it's important. I mean, the technical aspects are important to cover because, that's not an area of my expertise, and that's you should speak to it because that adds to the credibility of the clip. The things that get me about this, there's a bunch of things aside from the fact that, there's Sasquatch running around the woods. But the things that get me is this. You have these animal-like sounds, right? And that they're scary enough. But the parts where you have these sounds that kind of approach speech, right? And I can't decide if it's them mimicking human speech or it's their own speech. And I don't know which is scarier. Them mimicking us, because it's almost like you can hear, like, they become aware that the men are there.
Because they're trying to do the sounds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then they start like mimicking back at them. Now, are they doing that to like just because they're mimicking, or like, oh, these are men, we know what they are. They know that men exist.
Yeah.
They come in contact with all the time. Well, maybe if we like babble at them that like the sounds that they make,
they'll just go, oh, it's just people.
Yeah. Or they're just it's an attempt to be like, well, maybe if I make these noises, they'll leave.
Right. Because like the first you get the whoops, right?
Yeah.
And which is just
Yeah, it's some kind of call too because it's coupled with tree knocking.
Yes,
which is they think it's either them knocking on the trees with their hands, but then other people have said it's not that. They take like a branch, like a medium-sized log, and they hit dead trees, and it makes this like hollow knocking sound, and it carries very far because it's similar to the sound of like when a baseball bat hits the ball just at that right angle, and it sounds very similar to it.
Yeah, it can't be their hands. It can't. They're both,
no.
It has to be a stick or something hitting. Yeah, it has to be that.
Yeah. And then the variety of the speech too, because then when you start listening, it's like, well, this one sounds like the deeper voice. Is this a male? And then the higher one sounds like a female. So it's almost like, is there something going, like, was this like some kind of mating ritual that was going on?
But then you hear those are the ones that are like, why, what? And then you have the ones that are like, hey, and then you have the ones that are like, dude,
it sounds like they're having a conversation.
It is, and it's like, what are they communicating? See, I know, I agree with you totally, which is scarier.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's communication. I don't think it's them mimicking.
Yeah.
At that point, I think it has to be some kind of communication, just because, like, the differences in tone, right?
Yeah.
Like, with the tree knocking, like, there's so much to go into here, and this is probably, I don't even know of an EVP that's more chilling than this.
Well, EVPs are a little more nebulous, or even
right, but I mean, like.
This has it's scary in a different way because this has like this grounded, like it's an unknown animal, right? But it's not just an animal; it's an animal that's like the missing link. It's like it approaches humanity, which is that's what scares me because it's like not only could they be out there, but they're thinking about us. You know what I mean? Like when they if these things are real, when they're walking up to our houses, they know what's in there. They know who we are, and it's just like they just choose to keep their distance.
And most of the people they think about are the guys from Mountain Monsters.
Yes. They steer clear of those guys.
Yeah, exactly. They go, oh, here comes these assholes.
Here comes Finding Bigfoot.
This audio clip is a gem. It really is. Like, this is oh my god, dude! Like, we're gonna listen to it again after this, after the episode's done. Because I'm gonna have a cigarette. We're gonna listen.
the thing that gets also that I just want to throw in here is that just because this is what we do, just to throw some skepticism in there, an argument could be made that, hey, they went out to the woods. One guy stood here, one guy stood a little farther away, another guy stood farther away. In the middle of the day, they didn't have to do it at night. There's no picture.
Yeah.
And they made these noises.
Yeah.
But this audio has been analyzed, and from what they can pull from the audio, they say that these noises are not capable of being produced by the human vocal cords. It doesn't exist in the range that humans can produce. And
now you saying that too, as an audio guy, people go, no, I can make that noise. You're not understanding what they're talking about.
Back then, no, it's there's a different intonation, and it's the way that. No, it's just not what we could just pull off. Now we could, and you could just sit here in the basement and make it with download some audio software, and you could. But this was 1973, 1972, and they were not doing this kind of shit.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of gets me. The age of it is what remains compelling to me, because it's not like.
And that's the best stuff.
Yeah.
The best stuff is when you aren't oversaturated with technology, and it had to be at the right time, it had to be in the right circumstance, and you just have this peace, right? Yep. It's like, I don't want to say it's a holy grail, but it's like what you imagine when you're a kid, that like all this evidence exists somewhere.
Well, this one, I would almost put this as the holy grail of Bigfoot evidence, aside from actual DNA or fur or a body or a skeleton. I think this kind of is better than the Patterson-Gimlin film, in my opinion, because that people have been all over that, and the things that they point to. One guy will point to this, say, "See how the leg moves? That's how you know it's fake." But then the other guy will go, "You see how the leg moves? That's how you know it's real." Right. And it's like, this is a little more. There's a little more of like an air of undeniability that happens in this one, where because people have visceral reactions to it, it's almost like it's like, oh, that's not a human. Like you like feel it. You're like, oh, what is that noise?
Yeah. And the the sheer thought of like that's how they sound. That's what scares me. Like I always have the idea of like, oh, what if we see an alien and you go, oh my god, that's how they really look. Yeah. Like that feeling you get with like. Oh my god, that's how they sound. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they sound. That's one of those internal things that gets me. Yeah. That makes me go, like, because I know if I ever saw an alien, you know what I mean? Like, or saw something like this, I'm like, that's how it looks.
I feel like I could deal with the alien. The Sasquatch would fuck me up more because it's close to human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
see, no, that's why I'm better with that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's grounded here. Like I can,
but an alien, I feel like, is a higher intelligence, and you could possibly, like maybe reason with it. The Sasquatch is just like, I imagine this like weird ape thing with black eyes, just like looking through your window.
Yeah,
like, and I'm just like,
well, that's what guns are for.
I'm not going to talk. I'm just talking about the encounter.
I understand.
Yeah, I don't want to see aliens either.
Yeah, I'm saying if I see an alien, I'm like, this thing's gonna like shoot a laser at my asshole, and I'm done.
Are you done?
Maybe not. No big deal. It's this audio is so good. Yeah. I don't like. I could sit here and gush about it for hours, and like people be like, "Oh, it's so stupid."
I was just gonna say that's the funny thing about this audio. You and I both clearly have a response to this. And you'll have other people that will have the opposite response. They'll hear this like, so stupid. Yeah. And I've heard people that I played this for like, that's not real. And like, okay, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But for me, this is the one. This is the one, and this is better, in my opinion, better than the Patterson-Gimlin film, because I think there's something to this.
Yeah.
And I also think that there's something to be said that this could be real, because you think about where this was taken, allegedly taken, recorded in the Sierra Nevada mountains in Eastern California. That's still, logging happened there. They could have been, these things could have been there, and now they're just not anymore. Like they could have been their deforestation.
Driven from their home,
and that could have just been it. I mean, I know it is a stretch to say that like, oh, these large apes were existing in these mountain ranges, but if in the 70s the last couple ones were there, and then they just finally died out, and then there's just no remains of them.
Right.
I think this loops back to our haunted headline, where people go missing all the time in those mountains.
Yep.
And they don't get found because either they fall, or however they die, or they get killed by an animal. Those remains get eaten up. So there could have been a Sasquatch body laying out there, and it could have got eaten up by, scavenging creatures.
No, that seems to be the case here of what would have happened. I mean, because a lot of the time you'll have people go, "Oh, where's the bodies? Where's the bones?" Look, the how many bear bones?
I was just going to say,
like,
I used to live in New Jersey. Bears are rampant there. You know how many times I've encountered a bear? Goose egg.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've encountered a deer carcass in the woods? Maybe once, but deer are almost at this point like at invasive species.
They are
level.
they are.
Yeah.
That's why hunting is sanctioned.
Yes,
because they're rodents. Like that's the thing. They're yeah. And they pass diseases along and shit.
Yeah. My dad's a hunter, so I know all this stuff. But
I'm just saying, you're like, yeah, Dad, shut the fuck up.
No, I'm just saying that like I know how this all goes. So it's like, where are the bodies?
Yeah.
Well.
Bugs, nature, lower vermin.
Where are the bodies, G? They, I think that if they existed, I think they were already on the decline.
Yeah.
I think that they were already almost extinct.
Sure.
And I think through deforestation, construction, logging, and possibly just, maybe people have shot them here and there, and those stories were true. I would. If I were to bet money on it, I would say that's what probably happened. They did exist at a time, and they're gone now.
That's sad.
Well, yeah, I mean it's very sad, but we're not. We're responsible for the wiping out of plenty of species.
Buffalo.
Some well, they're still around. But
well, we went to town on the buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, whaling.
Yeah.
The dodo bird, we completely erased. The Tasmanian
Seals.
tiger.
Dude, the dodo bird's even more messed up because it was like a Disney film crew that like wiped them out.
Yeah, like on accident.
Yeah, they were like, pretend like push them off. They just pushed them off the cliff. And that's the whole thing. Oh, the way of the dodo. Like, dodos are idiots. They walk. No, it's like, no, the directors were pushing them off the cliffs.
Yeah.
Insane.
Another thing that Disney has destroyed. Let's save that for another time.
Let's cheers to that.
Yeah. So that's my whole thoughts on it. I mean, I like this, and if this was like, this was the swan song of the Sasquatch here that we got to hear, and no one ever recorded them again after this, and everything after this is fake, I would I could believe that.
Yeah. And it's crazy that we still have, like, someone did us the service of going out there and capturing this. And let's just let's actually go, okay, this is real.
Yeah.
These guys are awesome for just going out there, putting themselves in that situation, having the balls and the bravery to just get this.
They got it, and it is awesome. And like, I almost want to view it from like a zoological point of view. Like they captured a piece of evidence that they were able to get a piece of this before these things were gone forever.
Yeah.
And because most people scoff at the whole idea of Sasquatch, no one ever really went out there looking for bones. And you have your independent investigators, but no money was ever put into it. You know what I mean? I mean, once again, we're going back to the haunted headline. How many millions of dollars are put into for searches for people that are never found?
Yeah.
In the same areas.
You're right.
And these creatures could be the type that, look at any kind of predatory cat. They hide when they're going to die.
Yeah, dogs.
Yeah, they go hide somewhere when they die.
Yeah.
So they could be doing the same thing. They could also have, I mean, if they're approaching humanity, maybe they bury their dead. We don't know. Yeah. So,
and if we're meant to believe they have, nests and things of that nature, I'm sure,
Yeah, I mean, that's all speculative because when you get into some of these shows, when the guy is clearly just out of his mind and just like pulling at straws and has no idea what he's talking about, like, well, this is where a nest of them were staying and they built this structure, this and this, and like, it's like, yeah, but
you don't fucking know.
Maybe, but you don't know.
Fucking know.
Sure.
Don't fucking act like you fucking know. Yeah.
Philadelphia comes to the Sierra Nevadas.
Yeah. That's how I would talk to one of these guys, one of these guys or one of you guys out there.
Oh, you during the Sasquatch have their conversation, you just walk up there?
Oh, no. No. If I hear that, dude, my ding-dings inside of me, I'm peeing myself. Like, My testicles ascend.
You guys try to give him a Philly pretzel or a cheesesteak?
Yeah, you guys ever have a
give him a Yingling?
Yeah, Yingling, Steve's Princess Steak. You ever have one of those? Those are the best ones. Philly underrated, dude. You just get onions? No, but like
Cheese Whiz?
Yeah, whiz or without? What do you want? With or without? With whiz? What do you?
Yeah,
provolone, Provy? You Provy guy? No. Anyway,
half people listening just threw up.
Yeah, half the people listening are eating that right now, probably. Yeah. But yeah, no, I oh God, it's.
No, it's my favorite. It's my favorite piece of Bigfoot evidence. I'm glad we got to talk about it again. I know we mentioned this in a previous episode, but like we said, it came up again because whenever you hear it, me, Ken, and I'm sure plenty of others who've heard it, there's a visceral response to it because there's something about it that rings true. And
one last thing I'll say about it.
Yeah.
What started again...
Ken's rocking back and forth. He's so scared.
I know. I'm like... I'm just thinking about it because, like... Oh, man. Randomly... I have like 2 nights a week I go to bed real early.
Yeah.
And it was a Wednesday, and I woke up and I had an Instagram message from Jay, and it was just the Sierra sounds, and I woke up, it was like 2 a.m, and I played it, and I was just like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Oh, God. And like... And
then I started, ones that gets you, man. You return to your childhood.
I started thinking about it again, and then I just heard it again the other day.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, Sierra sounds. I just like texted Jay. I was like, dude, Sierra sounds.
Yeah, man.
It's so good.
Yep.
I mean, canon for me.
Oh, 100%. This is... these are all pretty good. The third one, where it's the screaming one after he shot a Bigfoot, I don't know, man. That could be anything. And I'm not saying that it's fake, just outright, but there's not enough information for me to really give.
Yes.
I would want to see, like, all the data. Who is this guy? What day was it? Where did he record it?
Yeah.
Where did he shoot it? You know, what kind of gun was it? Like, I want to know all the data.
Yeah. Yeah, because,
Yeah.
Because you're smart. That's what you want. You want that when you look into anything. Yeah. Like, most people hear it and they go, oh, fucking Bigfoot. You know, like, ugh. People just do that, you know. They see a video and they're like, real.
Yeah.
It's there. There it is. Or they hear audio and they're like, oh, my God.
South Philly responds to this video of Sasquatch making a... Where did you take this? Down on Passyunk?
Yeah. Hey, Passyunk Avenue? Passyunk Avenue? That's where you do it. Bigfoot's from Tacony. But
he isn't.
No, he's not. No. Maybe Mayfair. No, I'm just kidding.
So fucked up in Kenzo. There.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Anyway, so, like, all right. So, closing statements on any of these or all of these?
The first one I have a couple issues with when he has his reaction. I want to believe that one. I like it for the most part. There are some things that take me in. There's some things that take me out. I'm okay with it. The other ones are great. The ones that sound a lot more animal are a lot more plausible that they're being real because they could just be an animal.
Right.
Like, hopefully we heard those recordings of each. But this last one, man, it blows the rest of them out of the water.
It's just the best one, man.
Yeah, and it's so weird. It's so weird.
And that's what... so my closing statement is...
Yeah.
That talking portion.
Yes.
The whoops, I love. The whoops are just like... They're terrifying in their own right, but that...
Yeah.
That is the scariest shit like in the world.
Yeah.
And it's... Oh, God. When they do that, like, that's why I believe it's real. Because, like, just dudes out there going out to just make noises at each other that have been scientifically proven to not be at the same register as humans. And to carry a distance, like, they measured, you know, you can... There are all kinds of tools for this. But it's this is probably my favorite audio recording of any of the supernatural, paranormal, cryptozoological, any of them. This is my favorite recording. Closing statement, me.
Agree, man. I think that as far as audio goes, like you were talking before, like EVPs and stuff, it's not even the same category. The only thing that makes them similar is that they're both audio recordings.
Yeah,
they're just in different universes almost.
Yeah,
there's been nothing before or since that's this. And when I first heard it, I didn't realize it was from the 70s. I was like, oh, this dude just recorded this last week. No. early 70s, and that to me that gives it more credibility, like I said. So
absolutely,
this one,
and it came out in the 70s too. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, this is from the 70s. No, it was there in the 70s.
Yeah. So this is I really like this one. I mean, hopefully there's not some evidence that's out there that we didn't see that's like, hey, actually they found out that this guy was this and this, and it's fake because this and this. And I was like, fuck, because that's happened before. Where like I've looked into something and like it's like definitive that it's fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's easier to happen with like ghost stuff because it's also whatever. Yeah. But this one, man, I can't say enough good things about it and how much it scared me as a kid.
Well, all right, guys, we're going to go listen to this again. But for this episode of Other Dangerous Podcast, I've been Ken James.
And I've been Jason McKittrick.
And as always, have a spooky evening. Thank you for listening to Other Dangerous Podcasts. Have you encountered the other dangers? If so, you can email us at otherdangerouspodcast@gmail.com. And if you'd like to have a discussion about the paranormal, you can find us at Other Dangerous Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. There you can find submitted pictures, videos, and artwork from listeners. We are now streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and anywhere else podcasts are streamed. And after listening, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to bring you the other dangers.